What up, what up? Cardo back again. Taking me a minute to get you guys an update on the 30 build, but mainly because I just didn't have the stuff I needed to kind of get going. So I went out and got an engine stand, sourced an engine crane, which, by the way, thank you Andrew Hawkins for helping me out there. Came through with the goods on the engine crane. So I'll just jump right in. So as you can see, there's now a massive hole in the engine bay of my 32. We're gonna clean all the wires up and, you know, make all this look pretty, hit it with a bunch of degreaser and strip it down, repaint the engine bay in the same satin black. I just wanted to show you this really quickly. So that is an engine mount, and that is an engine mount. I want you to see this. When I pull on this one, notice how it doesn't move. You know, it's a solid, well, it's got rubber, but it's solid. You know, you can't pull it off. This engine mount, oh, she gone. And then the other thing, as you might have noticed, the car is in hover mode again. So that's just because I'm literally just in a cash grab trying to get the engine built. A few things are happening kind of personal life wise that I'm trying to prepare for as well. And look, at the end of the day, the stock life part of it's gone. You know, I can't run the stock wheels anymore. I want to go bigger brakes as well, but I'd rather keep the brakes and then sell those kind of later on. So I'm gonna go up to a 17 and attack everything as needed. Pulling the engine is so much easier than I thought it would be. It's literally just the two engine mount bolts, which is one bolt there, one on the other side, and then pulling out the prop shaft, or pulling out the drive shafts on both sides. So this one pops out, just literally pops out. And then there's like 6 bolts on that side that you just undo from underneath the car, 2 at a time, and spin it. The shaft comes out and then you're good to go. So now I'm gonna try and sell this block, recoup a little bit of cash that way, and hopefully we are go time for the unveiling of the new setup. All right, so I'm gonna kind of move things around a little bit and get this engine on the engine stand, and then what we're gonna do is pull this oil pump off, and we'll see why this engine decided it was time to give up the ghost. All right, so I just got the engine off the engine crane and put it on the stand, flipped it around, and we're about to see if we can't pull this sump off somehow. It has kind of made a mess, so don't judge me here. But yeah, basically just getting ready to pull the sump off, and then once the sump's off, I'm gonna see what's in there. So yeah, through the power of editing, straight away, all this little like metallic buildup and gunky stuff right there, that, my friend, is bearing material. And in there, so I need to pull whatever this little shield thing is off, and this is the oil pump right here, so it's pretty much ready to come off. Let's see, maybe it'll, hey, all right, sweet. Let me just grab a little rag. Let's see what happens when we pull this bad boy off. Is there another screw somewhere hidden? Hey, there we go, sweet. All right, so that is the oil pump. And straight away what I can see is the backing screws, and it's leaking. Let's just go ahead and we'll drip that into the engine. So straight away the backing screws are relatively good. I don't see anything there. So I need to take those off and we'll see if we've got some cracked oil pump gears. Just trying to look at the little flat, which doesn't look to be too rounded. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but that little flat spot is where usually the breakages happen. I don't see any cracks or anything, so if it isn't broken, that means all that happened was my oil level was too low and I oil surged, which would be shit, but too late now. So yeah, let me just get these backing screws out. We'll have a look at the oil pump gears. I'll take that little shielding off and we'll see if we can't find anything underneath it. I just took all the backing screws out of the oil pump. That's the plate there. Let's find out what is actually inside this thing. The backing plate itself looks fine, and the oil pump gear is not broken. I'm actually shocked. That fucking sucks, because that means my pump just died because of oil surge, not because the gear itself broke. Look at that. Gear, the inner gear and the outer gear, unless that's just one, but I think that's two, are both fine. The flats are actually they're not too bad. They've got some like wear on them, but they're not horrible. What the hell? I mean, like if you look inside the sump, you can definitely see that there's metal in there. We saw metal on the oil pickup. Why? It must have just oil surged. Like that's the oil pump, the gear, everything's fine. No cracks at all in the gear. Nothing. Maybe I just caught it early enough, I don't know. I mean, there's definitely bearing material on the oil pickup and inside the little screen filter in there where the mesh is. Definitely some bearing material. But this is probably the most disappointing thing I just found. So my car is the 93 and a Series 2 model. Now, between the Series 1 and the Series 2, the oil pump collar is meant to be different. One's a long nose, one's a short nose, which is basically talking about the flat part of the crank and where the gear engages on the oil pump. And you just saw that the pump itself was fine. There's no cracks. It had a little bit of a rounding, but I don't think that was enough to cause the issue that we have in my engine. I mean, I'm not an engine builder or anything, so there's that. But the other thing I just found is I've got a short nose crank, which is weird for a 93 to have. So I don't really know what to make of that. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So that little flat right there, when it's narrow like that, it's the narrow drive oil pump, or narrow drive crank collar. And this is basically what you have to slip a collar on over, or whatever they do to fit it, so that you have a wide one and it comes out a bit further. So yeah, weird. So there you have it. My RB26 spun a bearing and it looks like it was because of oil starvation. It wasn't because the oil pump gear cracked. It wasn't because it broke. It wasn't because the oil pump failed at all. It was just cavitation, I guess. yeah, there's no sign of anything being broken other than the fact that it had to have just starved for oil for that split second, just like everywhere you read on the internet where it's like you have to fill the oil up past the hump. That's why. So I'll show you something. So the last time that I was doing an oil change, I put all the oil in the motor and then left that guy. So this is a full quart, or full liter, sorry, still American here. That's a full liter of oil. I put 5 in, went for a drive basically, and that was it. So gear's fine. Cavitation got me. All right, so basically what's gonna happen from here, I've already told you we're getting a 3-liter built. That is actually well and truly underway now. The very next video we do is gonna be telling you more about that engine and what we're planning to do. So stay tuned. We're definitely gonna be back with more. Just stay patient with me. This isn't a very fast process. All right, so other than the fact that it's probably oil cavitation, I'm just gonna say I don't know at this stage, and I'm definitely gonna start cleaning up my garage right now. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys learned something from that, and I'll definitely see you on the next one where we are talking about what I'm actually doing for engine build and who's building it finally. So we'll catch you guys.